There are moments in life when the ground beneath you feels different, not because the world outside has shifted, but because something inside of you has begun to stir. It's subtle at first, like a whisper you can't quite catch, a restlessness, a pull, a quiet sense that the life you've been living no longer fits the shape of your soul. You go through the motions, yet somewhere deep within, you know something is coming. It's not fear, it's not chaos, it's not even certainty, it is simply a knowing. The knowing that change is approaching. But here's the truth most people overlook. Change rarely announces itself with clarity. It doesn't come knocking politely at your door. It doesn't hand you a map or a timetable. No, change begins as whispers. It begins as tension in your chest when you repeat old routines. It begins as a question that lingers after the noise of the day has faded. Is this really all there is? And when you notice those signs, you must not ignore them, because those signs are not accidents, they are signals. Signals from the deepest part of you, the part that knows you were meant for more than survival, more than repetition, more than carrying the weight of wounds that were never yours to keep. Pay attention. When your heart feels restless, when your spirit feels unsatisfied, when your mind keeps imagining a life beyond the one you're living, those are not distractions. They are the earliest signals of transformation. Change does not come to punish you. Change comes to awaken you, to remind you that you are not meant to stay where you are forever. That comfort zones are not homes, they are cages dressed as safety. And when life begins to shake, when pieces no longer fit, when you feel torn between holding on and letting go, pause. Breathe. Look closer. That is the whisper of change saying it's time. Time to shed old layers. Time to walk away from what no longer feeds your soul. Time to stop betraying yourself just to be accepted. Yes, it's terrifying, because every part of you has been conditioned to cling to what's familiar, to keep peace even at the expense of your own, to stay in rooms where your spirit shrinks, because leaving feels too uncertain. But change asks you to choose yourself. It asks you to trust that the unknown holds more life than the known that is killing you. It asks you to trust that endings are not destruction, they are invitations. Think of a forest fire. At first glance, it looks like devastation, flames consuming everything in sight. But what we often forget is that the fire clears the ground, making way for new growth. Without the fire, the forest cannot renew itself. Without change, your life cannot either. The signs are already here. The way your spirit recoils from conversations that no longer resonate. The way your energy feels drained in places that once felt comfortable. The way your dreams feel louder, more insistent, as if they refuse to stay buried any longer. These are not random feelings. They are signals that your season is shifting. And if you resist them, if you bury them, if you convince yourself that staying is easier than becoming, you will only prolong the ache, because the soul always knows. The soul always hungers for truth. So listen closely. What are you being called to release? What patterns, what attachments, what old stories are begging to be left behind? What version of you is quietly dying so that a new one can be born? The whisper of change is not here to destroy you. It is here to free you, to peel away the weight of what no longer serves you, so you can finally remember who you are beneath it all. This is the beginning. The restlessness you feel, the longing you cannot shake, the dreams that refuse to be silenced. They are not accidents. They are your signs. And if you notice them, then know this: a big change is coming. Not someday, not in some distant future. Now, the first step is awareness. The next step is courage. And together, they will lead you to the life you were always meant to live. Once you notice the signs, once you feel that whisper inside calling you towards something greater, a new question rises: do I have the strength to walk this path? And the truth is, many people turn back here. They see the signs, they feel the restlessness, they hear the whispers. But the fear of leaving the familiar outweighs the pull of the unknown. So they stay. They settle. They convince themselves that the ache in their soul is normal, that their dreams are too distant, that their peace can wait. But not you. You are here because something in you refuses to keep pretending. You are here because even if fear trembles in your chest, your soul is louder. And here is what you must know: strength does not come from never being afraid. Strength comes from moving anyway. Think about it. Every great transformation in nature requires resistance. Seeds push through soil before they reach the sun. Rivers carve valleys only by colliding with stones. Even your lungs expand against the pressure of air to keep you alive. Strength is not the absence of struggle. It is born in the struggle. So if you feel the weight of fear, if you feel it trembling in your hands, if you feel uncertainty clouding your mind, do not mistake it for weakness. It is proof that you are on the edge of becoming. Close your eyes and imagine the life that is waiting for you on the other side of fear. A life where you no longer carry the chains of what is breaking you. A life where peace is not a dream, but a daily reality. A life where your worth is no longer questioned because you know it in your bones. That life is real. That life is yours. But to reach it, you must step forward. And to step forward, you must trust the strength already within you. The world has tried to convince you that strength is loud, that it is about being unshaken, unbreakable, untouched by pain. But real strength is quieter. It is choosing to rise even after you've fallen. It is choosing to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. It is the whisper in your soul that says one more step, just one more step. Your strength is not something you must find outside. It is not earned by others. It is not earned by perfection. It has lived inside you since the beginning. Every scar is proof. Every survival is proof. Every time you thought you couldn't go on but did, that was your strength. And now as change approaches, that same strength will carry you through. Picture yourself standing at the edge of a bridge. Behind you lies the familiar, the safe, the patterns you've outgrown. Ahead of you lies the unknown, the transformation you've been longing for, but have not yet touched. The bridge is narrow. The wind shakes it. Every instinct screams to go back. But then you feel it, that fire inside. The strength that whispers, I was not born to stay small. I was not born to live in fear. I was born to cross this bridge. And so you step, not because the fear disappears, because your strength is greater than your fear. This is the essence of courage, not the absence of fear, but the decision to keep moving even with fear at your side. And as you move, you begin to see the bridge is not as fragile as it looked. Your steps are steadier than you thought. The unknown is not as terrifying as it seemed, because with every step, your strength grows louder and your fear grows quieter. Listen, your life does not change by waiting. It changes by walking, by trusting that you can carry yourself even when the ground feels unsteady, by believing that the same strength that brought you here will bring you through. Yes, there will be moments of doubt. Yes, there will be nights when the old wounds try to call you back. Yes, there will be voices, internal and external, that say you are not ready. But remember this, you do not need the whole staircase to take the first step. You only need enough strength for now. And you have it. You always have. Take a breath. Feel it. The strength that carried you through heartbreak, through disappointment, through seasons you thought would end you. It is still here. It has not left you. It has been waiting for this moment. So when you notice the signs, when you feel the shift, when the whisper inside calls you forward, listen, do not stay where your soul no longer fits. Trust your strength, step forward. Because strength is not about knowing the destination. Strength is about trusting that you can walk the journey. And the journey, my friend, is only just beginning. Every transformation begins with a burning away of the old, the false, the smallness you once accepted as your identity. It is not always gentle. Sometimes it feels like your world is falling apart. Sometimes it feels like everything you once clung to is slipping through your hands. But here is the truth. It is not destruction, it is rebirth. The discomfort you feel, the heaviness that weighs on your chest, the moments when life forces you to let go, these are not punishments. They are invitations. Invitations to rise higher, to release what is not meant to stay, to step into a version of yourself that you have not yet met. Transformation is fire. It is both the end and the beginning. And yes, it will burn, but only what was never truly yours. Imagine a forest after a fire. To the eye, it may seem ruined, blackened, stripped of life. But beneath the ashes, the soil is richer. The ground is prepared for new growth. Seeds that were once dormant awaken. What looked like devastation is actually creation. So too with you. The fire in your life, the endings, the changes, the letting go. It is clearing the ground of your soul. It is preparing the soil for something greater to take root. But here is what you must remember. Transformation is not instant. It is not a single spark, but a process. And that process asks for patience, for trust, for surrender. You will feel moments of loss. You will feel the achy of what is no longer here. You will question if the pain is worth it. And in those moments, you must remember pain is not the enemy. Pain is the proof that you are growing. Do not rush it. Do not force it. Allow the fire to do its work. Allow yourself to grieve what has ended, but do not mistake endings for defeat. Endings are simply the doorway to beginnings. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture your old self, the one who carried unworthiness, fear, doubt, chains of expectation. See that version of you standing in the flames. See how the fire does not consume your soul. But only the illusions, what is real, what is eternal, what is strong remains. What is false burns away. And from the ashes you rise. This is the power of transformation. It does not erase who you are. It reveals who you have always been. It strips away the layers of fear, of doubt, of conformity, until only the truth remains. Do you feel it? That's stirring inside you. That quiet but unstoppable force that says, I am becoming. I am changing. I am more than I was before. Transformation is not about becoming someone else. It is about returning to yourself. It is about remembering the strength you forgot, the worth you buried, the light you dimmed. It is about awakening to the truth that you were never broken, you were only hidden. And as you step deeper into this fire, you realize something powerful. You are not losing yourself, you are finding yourself. The people who could not understand your journey may fall away. The spaces that once felt comfortable may feel too small. The dreams you once thought were enough may no longer satisfy you. This is not a sign that something is wrong. This is a sign that you are outgrowing what was never meant to contain you. Transformation demands courage because it requires leaving behind what is familiar, but it also offers freedom. The freedom to live as your true self, the freedom to walk in alignment with your soul, the freedom to no longer shrink for anyone or anything. Yes, there will be moments when you miss the old life, not because it was better, but because it was known. The unknown will feel terrifying. But remember, the unknown is also where miracles live. It is where growth happens. It is where your next chapter begins. So let the fire do its work. Let the old burn away. Let yourself step into the unknown, not with fear, but with faith. Because on the other side of transformation is freedom. On the other side of surrender is peace. On the other side of fire is light. And when you rise from the ashes, you will not just be stronger. You will be unshakable. You will not just survive. You will shine. This is your transformation. This is your rebirth. And it is only the beginning. You have walked through the whispers of change. You have felt the trembling of fear and discovered the strength to step forward. You have entered the fire of transformation and watched the old burn away. And now here you stand at the threshold of awakening. Awakening is not a moment. It is a lifetime unfolding. It is the gentle but powerful realization that you are no longer who you once were. It is the knowing deep in your spirit that greatness has always lived within you. And now, finally, you're ready to live it. But what is greatness? It is not measured by comparison. It is not defined by applause. It is not proven by achievements. Greatness is authenticity. Greatness is peace. Greatness is the courage to live in alignment with your truth. No matter how the world responds, it is waking each day and choosing yourself not out of selfishness, but out of reverence. Reverence for the soul you carry, the breath that sustains you, the dreams that will not let you go. Greatness is quiet power. It is walking into a room with peace in your heart and light in your eyes. It is standing tall, not because life is perfect, but because you have learned how to bend without breaking. It is forgiving yourself for the years you doubted, for the times you settled, for the moments you forgot your worth. And now, your awakening invites you to live differently. You no longer chase what was never meant for you. You no longer beg for spaces that cannot hold you. You no longer shrink so others can feel tall. You walk forward free, strong, radiant, carrying only what aligns with the truth of who you are. This is not arrogance, it is liberation. It is the release of every chain, the breaking of every lie, the opening of your wings. For so long, you may have wondered if your voice mattered, if your dreams mattered. And now, you see it clearly. You always did. You always have. You always will. Close your eyes. Take a breath. Feel the rhythm of your heart. That beat is your proof. You are here for a reason. You are not an accident. You are not small. You are not invisible. You are creation itself, living and breathing, awakening to the fullness of your being. Do you feel it? The fire inside has become a steady flame now. No longer wild, no longer uncertain, but clear, unwavering, eternal. That flame is your greatness. That flame is your guide. When life tests you again, and it will, you will not crumble as you once did, because you now know who you are. You have seen the fire. You have walked through the bridge. You have stood in the ashes and risen, and nothing, no fear, no doubt, no obstacle can take that from you. This is your awakening. This is your time. Rise each morning, not with dread, but with reverence. Live each day, not as a repetition, but as a creation. Walk each step, not as if you are wandering, but as if you are guided, because you are. When others try to dim your light, let it shine brighter. When life tries to shake you, let your roots grow deeper. When fear tries to whisper, let strength answer louder. You are awake now, you are alive now, and you are free. Greatness is not ahead of you, it is within you. And now you finally see it. So step forward with peace in your soul, strength in your spirit, and light in your eyes. Step forward knowing the signs have guided you here for a reason. Step forward knowing you have become more than you once believed. Step forward, because this is your new beginning. And as you rise into the fullness of who you are, the world will not only see your greatness, it will feel it. Because when one soul awakens, it gives permission for others to do the same. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your greatest chapter, and it starts now.